Anyone can follow the rule book stuff. Wear your gear, check your tire pressure, don't ride drunk. Yeah, no kidding. But in 2025, the rule book itself is changing in significant ways. New regulations are transforming how we can legally ride across the United States, from lane filtering and red light laws to insurance requirements and classification systems for other two-wheeled vehicles. You won't hear about these changes from anyone else. If you ride year-round, commute daily, or take your bike cross-country, you need to know these updates inside and out. Here's a countdown of the 13 critical motorcycle rule updates for 2025. Number 13, California license plate visibility requirements. Assembly Bill 2111 in California now prohibits the concealment of license plates regardless of intent. This affects some popular motorcycle mounting positions and custom plate frames. Make sure your license plate remains fully visible from all angles, as enforcement has increased in 2025. This law changes the previous requirement where officers needed to prove intentional concealment. Now, even accidental obscuring of your plate can result in a ticket. Riders with vertical side mounts, which were previously in a gray area, now face clear enforcement. The fine starts at $196 and increases with subsequent violations. The California Highway Patrol now has explicit authority to ticket riders for plates concealed by saddlebags, exhaust pipes, or frame components. Many popular fender eliminator kits sold in California now display warning labels about potential visibility violations. Weekend enforcement checkpoints in popular riding areas like Angeles Crest Highway and Mulholland Drive have already caught many riders with non-compliant plate positions. Number 12, vehicle impoundment for street racing. California's Assembly Bill 1978 now allows for the impoundment of vehicles, including motorcycles, involved in street races or sideshows without requiring the arrest of the operator. This means your bike can be seized even if you're not present, expanding enforcement options against illegal street activities. This marks a shift from previous enforcement, which required the owner to be caught in the act. Now, video evidence or witness statements can be enough to justify impoundment. Motorcycles identified at these events can be held for up to 30 days, with impound fees often exceeding $1,500. The law specifically targets popular motorcycle gathering spots like the Snake on Mulholland Highway and areas of San Diego County where group rides have led to complaints. Social media evidence is now admissible for impoundment proceedings, with several cases already citing Instagram and TikTok footage as justification. Owners now face the additional burden of proving they weren't involved in illegal activities to reclaim their motorcycles. Number 11, off-road motorcycle event permits. California's Senate Bill 708, effective January of 2026, introduces permits for off-road motorcycle events for 2022 and newer models not eligible for green or red stickers. These permits must be displayed on the left side of the motorcycle and expire at year end. If you ride newer off-road models in California, check if you need this new permit. These permits cost $50 for the calendar year and are available through the California Department of Parks and Recreation. Unlike the older sticker programs that had seasonal restrictions, these new permits allow year-round participation in sanctioned events, but do not grant general trail access outside organized events. Each permit allows participation in up to 10 events annually, tracked through a unique QR code that organizers scan. The system addresses confusion created when California stopped issuing new red stickers in 2022, leaving many competition motorcycles without legal riding options. Riders caught participating without a valid permit face a first offense fine of $250, with penalties doubling for subsequent violations within a calendar year. Number 10, Federal Highway Administration Safety Initiatives. The Federal Highway Administration has expanded its motorcycle safety focus in 2025, emphasizing improved roadway design and infrastructure changes. While not a specific law, these initiatives have led to more motorcycle-friendly guardrails, improved roadway friction surfaces, and better hazard marking in many states. Keep an eye out for the safety improvements on your routes. The FHWA's 2025 program includes new rounded edge guardrail systems being installed across interstate highways that reduce injury severity and motorcycle impacts by up to 40% compared to traditional designs. Another key change is the implementation of high-friction surface treatments at curves where motorcycle crashes are common. Major motorcycle corridors, including Blue Ridge Parkway, Pacific Coast Highway, and Tail of the Dragon, now feature these enhanced safety elements. Cable barriers, which have been particularly dangerous for motorcyclists, are being systematically replaced with motorcycle-friendly alternatives on popular riding routes. Look for the new yellow diamond motorcycle caution signs with reflective borders that indicate enhanced motorcycle safety zones. Number 9. E-bike regulations in North Carolina. North Carolina Senate Bill 576 creates a three-class system for electric-assisted bicycles. Class 1 with pedal assist only up to 20 miles per hour, Class 2 with throttle assist up to 20 miles per hour, and Class 3 with pedal assist up to 28 miles per hour. The law permits e-bikes on all roadways, bicycle lanes, and shared-use paths. For motorcyclists, this means more clearly defined rules about the faster two-wheeled vehicles you'll be sharing the road with. The law requires all e-bikes sold in North Carolina to have permanent labels clearly identifying their class, motor wattage, and top assisted speed. Class 3 e-bikes, which can reach 28 miles per hour, now require riders and passengers to wear helmets regardless of age, while helmet requirements for Class 1 and 2 only apply to riders under 16. Cities like Raleigh, Charlotte, and Asheville have already established local ordinances under the new state framework, implementing specific speed limits on popular paths and greenways. E-bikes, illegally modified to exceed their class specifications, face reclassification as mopeds, requiring registration, insurance, and motorcycle endorsements. This three-tier approach helps motorcyclists better predict e-bike behavior in mixed traffic environments. Number 8. Bicycle Idaho stop expansion. New Mexico's Senate Bill 73, effective July the 1st of 2025, allows bicyclists to treat stop signs as yield signs and red lights as stop signs. With this addition, 13 states plus Washington, D.C. now recognize some form of the Idaho stop. As a motorcyclist, be aware that bicyclists in these states may legally roll through stop signs, changing how you should anticipate their behavior at intersections. This law, named after Idaho's original 1982 legislation, has shown surprising safety benefits where implemented. Studies from Delaware, which adopted the law in 2017, showed a 23% decrease in bicycle crashes at stop sign intersections after implementation. For motorcyclists, this means watching for bicycles that may legally enter intersections without stopping completely. The New Mexico law requires cyclists to yield to any vehicle with a right-of-way, but motorcyclists should expect more fluid bicycle movement through intersections. New signs reading "Cyclist Yield at Stop" have been installed at key intersections statewide. The first 6 months feature a warning period with educational materials instead of tickets for minor infractions as all road users adjust to the new rules. Number 7. Hawaii's continued ban on lane practices. While many states are liberalizing lane splitting and filtering laws, Hawaii remains the strictest state in 2025, continuing its complete prohibition on both lane splitting and filtering for motorcyclists. If you're riding in Hawaii this year, remember that moving between or alongside lanes of traffic remains illegal, regardless of whether traffic is stopped or moving. This stance was reinforced in March of 2025 when Hawaii's legislature voted down House Bill 2273, which would have permitted limited lane filtering on Oahu as a pilot program. Hawaii's prohibition includes hefty penalties that were increased in 2025. First-time violations now carry a $200 fine. Second offenses within 1 year jump to $300, and third offenses reach $500 with a mandatory court appearance. Enforcement is intensified around popular tourist areas like Waikiki, Lahaina, and North Shore, where visitor motorcyclists often inadvertently break the law based on riding habits from their home states. Hawaiian motorcycle rental companies now require signed acknowledgments of the filtering ban before releasing vehicles to tourists. Island riders have formed the advocacy group Lane Share Hawaii, which continues pushing for filtering permissions despite legislative setbacks. Number 6. Montana lane filtering confirmations. Montana maintains Senate Bill 9 from 2021 in 2025, allowing filtering past stopped or very slow-moving vehicles at a maximum of 20 miles per hour wherever lane width and safety conditions permit. This law permits motorcyclists to move past vehicles that are stopped or moving at less than 10 miles per hour. The 2025 clarification confirms these rules will remain in effect with no sunset date. Montana's Department of Transportation released their 3-year analysis of the law's effects in February of 2025, showing a 17% reduction in rear-end collisions involving motorcycles. The 2025 confirmation came with important clarifications for riders. Lane filtering is only legal on roads with speed limits of 50 miles per hour or less, addressing confusion about highway application. The Montana Highway Patrol has created a standardized hand signal for filtering motorcyclists, with riders extending their left arm downward at a 45-degree angle to indicate filtering intention. While not legally required, this communication practice has been adopted by most Montana riding groups to improve driver awareness. Motorcycle training courses in the state now include mandatory filtering instruction for new endorsement applicants. Number 5. Arizona lane filtering conditions. Arizona continues with Senate Bill 1273, which permits filtering between stopped vehicles on roads with at least 2 lanes in the same direction, as long as the speed limit is 45 miles per hour or less, and riders don't exceed 15 miles per hour while filtering. The 2025 update adds clarity on enforcement guidelines, specifying that filtering is only legal when all traffic in the same direction is fully stopped. The Arizona Department of Public Safety issued comprehensive enforcement guidelines in January of 2025, defining fully stopped traffic as vehicles that have been stationary for at least 3 seconds. The updated guidance also clarifies that motorcyclists must return to a single lane before reaching the front of the queue, prohibiting filtering through active intersections. Phoenix, Tucson, and Scottsdale have all implemented lane filtering awareness signage at major intersections, featuring universal symbols for motorcycle filtering. The Arizona Motorcycle Safety Foundation reports that 76% of motorcycle commuters in Phoenix now regularly filter, reducing their commute times by an average of 23 minutes daily during peak hours. Notably, 3-wheel motorcycles remain excluded from filtering permissions, creating an enforcement distinction that has caused some confusion. Number 4. California insurance requirement increases. Senate Bill 1107, effective January the 1st of 2025, has increased California's minimum motorcycle insurance requirements to $30,000 per person and $60,000 per accident for bodily injury or death. The property damage minimum is now $15,000, up from the previous $5,000 requirement. If you ride in California, verify your policy meets these new minimums to avoid any penalties. These increases represent the first major update to California's motorcycle insurance minimum since 1984. The California Department of Insurance estimates that the average motorcycle insurance premium has increased by approximately $112 annually as a result of these higher minimums. The law includes a grace period through March the 31st of 2025, during which riders can update their policies without penalties. For visiting motorcyclists, temporary California insurance endorsements are now available through most major carriers, providing compliant coverage for trips lasting less than 30 days. The California Motorcycle Safety Program has partnered with insurance providers to offer discounts averaging 15% for riders who complete their advanced skills course. Digital insurance verification has been implemented at registration renewals with automatic flags for non-compliant policies. Number 3. Dead red laws across multiple states. North Carolina's Safe on Red statute remains in effect for 2025, allowing motorcyclists to proceed through a steady red light after a complete stop and waiting at least 3 minutes. Wisconsin requires only a 45-second wait, while Illinois demands 120 seconds. In 2025, more than 20 states now have some form of dead red law, each with unique requirements for how long you must wait before proceeding through an unresponsive signal. These laws address problems with traffic signal sensors that often fail to detect motorcycles due to their smaller metal mass. North Carolina's law provides an affirmative defense in court rather than explicit permission to proceed, an important legal distinction for riders who might receive a ticket despite following the rule. Minnesota and Oregon have introduced new technical solutions alongside their dead red laws, implementing microwave detectors at problematic intersections that can recognize motorcycles regardless of metal content. These systems, which use motion detection rather than inductive loops, eliminate the wait times entirely at equipped intersections. Watch for small blue indicator lights mounted on signal arms that confirm your motorcycle has been detected. Number 2. Utah's lane filtering expansions. Utah's made 2 more important distinctions in their laws this year. House Bill 0190 will now explicitly separate lane filtering, which remains legal, from lane splitting, which is prohibited. Additionally, House Bill 0311 expands legal filtering to include freeway off-ramps starting May 1st of 2025, going beyond the previous limitation to traffic signals and intersections. This makes Utah's lane filtering laws some of the most clearly defined in the entire country. The 2025 expansion to freeway off-ramps addresses one of the most congested areas for motorcyclists, with studies showing that exit ramps account for 28% of highway congestion delays for motorcyclists. The new laws maintain previous safety parameters, including the 15-mile-per-hour maximum speed, while filtering and the requirement that surrounding traffic must be stopped or moving no faster than 10 miles per hour. Utah's Department of Public Safety has introduced distinctive roadside signs at freeway exits where filtering is permitted. These signs, featuring a motorcycle icon between 2 cars, will be installed at 87 off-ramps statewide by July of 2025. The state has launched a comprehensive driver education campaign called Between the Lines, with public service announcements airing during high-profile sporting events and online advertisements targeting commuters. And number 1, Colorado and Minnesota lane filtering laws. The biggest motorcycle regulation story of 2025 is the new lane filtering legislation in Colorado and Minnesota. Colorado's Senate Bill 24-079 allows motorcyclists to filter between stopped vehicles at a maximum speed of 15 miles per hour, but only on roads with lanes wide enough for safe passage. Minnesota's House File 5247, effective July 1st of 2025, permits both lane filtering when traffic is stopped and lane splitting when traffic is moving slowly. Minnesota riders can filter at speeds up to 25 miles per hour, with a maximum speed differential of 15 miles per hour compared to surrounding traffic. The state has allocated $200,000 for a public education campaign to inform drivers about these new laws. Colorado's law includes a mandatory sunset review before September 1st of 2027, making it essentially a trial program that requires positive safety outcomes to become permanent. Minnesota's approach is more progressive, representing the first new law to explicitly permit both filtering and limited splitting, positioning it closest to California's long-standing lane splitting permissions. Both states require motorcyclists to consider existing traffic conditions and exercise particular caution around larger vehicles. Minnesota's more comprehensive approach includes an explicit protection clause that prevents insurance companies from denying claims solely based on legal lane filtering or splitting. Meanwhile, Colorado's implementation includes motorcycle-specific lane filtering training for law enforcement to ensure consistent application statewide. 9 additional states have introduced similar legislation for their 2026 sessions, suggesting this trend will continue expanding. These lane filtering expansions represent the most significant shift in motorcycle regulations across the U.S. in 2025, potentially setting precedents for other states to follow. Now, these aren't the kind of updates you'll find in a beginner handbook, but that's the point. These are the regulatory changes that are reshaping how we ride in 2025, from lane filtering laws in Colorado to e-bike classifications in North Carolina. These updates reflect the evolving landscape of motorcycle riding in America. So, what about you? Did I cover a rule change that affects your state, or did you learn about a new regulation you hadn't heard about yet? Drop a comment below. I want to hear how these 2025 updates are impacting your riding. And if you got something out of this, hit that like button and subscribe. More motorcycle regulation updates and analysis is on the way. Ride informed and ride legal.